Hello and welcome to FX Addicts Weekly Market Analysis. This is Tim, the Currency Professor, and today is Friday, May 3rd, 2013, and finishing up a fairly wild week this week with some pretty good action. We had some decent news items this week. ECB cut rates by 0.25%, so that devalued the euro for one day, at least yesterday. And then today, the U.S. reported non-farm payrolls at 165,000. Expectations were for 146,000. And last month's numbers also were revised higher from 88,000 to 138,000. So a little bit better picture there as far as the payrolls go. The actual unemployment rate dropped from 7.6% to 7.5%. So overall, even digging into the details of the report, the numbers actually look pretty good. The report looks pretty good. Not nearly as dire and as bad as a lot of people purport it to be over the last month or so. So the employment situation is looking better in the U.S. So that speaks well for growth, future growth in the U.S. Now next week we got a few things coming out. On Monday we have the Centex Investor Confidence out of Europe. That's a large survey of about 2,800 investors and analysts, so it does have some significant meaning to it. Expectations are for a negative reading again of negative 14.6. Last month was negative 17.3. So if we come out better than the 14.6, meaning less negative, then that could move the euro. And if we look at the number coming in higher or worse, however you want to call it, more negative, then that would be bad for the euro. Then on Tuesday we have French industrial production. Expectations are for negative 2.2%. So a little bit negative there. And also on Wednesday, German industrial production, also supposed to be a negative number, negative 0.1. Finally, on Thursday, we get industrial production out of the UK. That's supposed to show a positive 0.3%, and manufacturing production a positive 0.4%. So we'll see how those numbers actually come in. UK has been doing okay lately, not great, but okay. This last week the M4 numbers were down quite a bit, so that is discouraging also, and that may drag down some of these future numbers here that we see out of the UK. Also on Thursday, the Bank of England meets, and they will decide their interest rate as well as any asset purchase facility changes. Right now they have the official rate at 0.5%, so they could drop that as well. They could drop it to like what the U.S. has at quarter to zero, essentially zero interest rates. So we'll see what they do on Thursday. And then on Friday, industrial production, which is expected to show a positive 0.3. So overall next week, fairly quietish type of economic data coming out. Not like this week where we had such large amounts and such big numbers. So let's look at the technicals here. The euro against the US dollar up about 41 pips right now. We were up quite a bit earlier after some of the news items today, and then have since fallen back. The fact that we have this this kind of a double topping in here, and then lower stochastics, leads me to believe that we're probably going to fall off from here. As to what extent, still not really known. If we close below this level, which is 129.50 or thereabouts, we could very easily sell off and get down to this 125 area. We probably would bounce in these areas down in here, but not very much. We would certainly find support around that 125. So technically this is not looking great. Yesterday's action selling off here is not great. Today's action bouncing back up is a positive sign, but it's not positive enough. If we had retraced all of yesterday's downward action, then it would have been a little more positive. So overall, not looking good on the short term. A little bit longer, On the weeklies here, we got a pretty good tail going for this week, so that usually means we're going to turn around and go down. On the monthlies, well, last month was such a strong month. This month starting out weak. Of course, it's only a couple of days into the month, so a lot can happen. But if we fail and we go down and we close lower than last month's lows, then that's very negative. If we press on from here and we go up, we close out the month up around that 135, 136 area, as we did a couple of months ago, then that would be positive. So a lot can happen in the next 30 days or so. British pound against the US dollar, up today, slightly up about 24. We were up quite a bit earlier and have since fallen back. We're starting to create here what looks to be a top pattern. We got these nice little, like, almost dojis going. So we'll have to see how Monday's session is, but we're starting to get a pretty good topping going here, and stochastic's pinned right up against the top, so we could fall off very easily. Now on the weeklies, we look fairly strong, and it looks like we could continue on this little up move that we have going here. The question is, at what point do we kind of fall off and at least have some kind of a correction here, or is this a correction in this longer term downtrend? And on the monthlies, the fact that we got up last month to near that trend line is somewhat positive, but not positive enough. We would have had to have closed above that trend line, and significantly above that trend line. Now this month we're going to need to close about 159, 159.50 in order to turn this whole thing around. It's entirely possible, but we would need to close up there first at the end of this month. If we do not close up there at the end of this month, that's probably a bearish sign, and we'll continue then on down to about the 142 level at least, maybe even lower than that. So longer term still does not look very good. Shorter term looks like we could fall back a little bit, at least a couple hundred pips. US dollar against the Swiss franc, up about 7 pips right now. We were up quite a bit earlier and have fallen back. We were also down early in the session, so it's been all over the place here. But it does look like we're starting to form somewhat of a bottom here. We ran down. We had this nice double bottom down here, ran up, couldn't quite make it to the old highs, fell off very sharply, got down almost to this trend line, and now we're popping up again. So we may come back down and test this trend line one more time and then rally up, or we could just rally up from here. Once we take out these highs around this 94, 70, 80 area, and if we could close above 95, that would be very, very positive, short term and long term. On the weeklies, we can see we're in the same trading range we were just about a year ago, so still bouncing around here, not a lot of direction, looking for little perks here that could send us up. Now this week having a little bit of a tail to the downside, that is a positive sign, so we'll see how it plays out here. But in the weeks to come, monthly we are up slightly on the month, but last month did a lot of damage here, and we need to really rally up significantly to get up and bounce above this this long-term trend line that we have for the last 12 years. So we would need to close right now above 96.85 and really significantly above that. So like 97.50 is where I'd like to see us close on a monthly basis. If we could close up there, that would be positive, and then we would really rally considerably from there. US dollar against Japanese yen marching up once again, up 120 right now, back above 99. Still looking fairly good. We've had a pretty decent correction here for about 6-7 days, and now we're rallying very strongly right back up. We'll probably get back up to this area right up in here, around this 100, just below 100, and then we may fall back again, only this time be slightly less, and eventually make our mark and close above that 100 level. And once we close above that 100 level, we'll probably shoot up very quickly, 102, 103, and if we look here on the monthlies, we can see how we could really even pop even further than that to about the 108, 110 area. It could be very significant very fast. So again, new month, we'll see how we do here. Euro Swiss having a very nice day today, up about 47, almost 50 pips. We were down for 6 days in a row, so a nice bounce here is certainly warranted. Now we just need to see some follow through here next week and close up above these highs. About 123.50 area would be wonderful. Then we certainly could rally some more after that. On a weekly basis, we got this nice curve bottom going here, and really looking for us to close out this week already. Too late, we're going to end up as a down week, but next week if we can close up above last week's highs, be very positive, and we could see some more movement done to the upside. So longer term still looks very good. Euro yen also popping up, getting a double boost from both the strength in the euro and the weakness in the yen. Up about 200 pips right now, and pushing that upper envelope there up around the 130 mark. So we get up there probably beginning of next week. Maybe we fall back again, only this time again slightly, just like with the dollar yen, and consolidate again, and then make a march up. Now on the weeklies, this week recovering nicely, almost retracing all of last week's loss. So looking very good here. And then on the monthlies also, start to the new month looking very good. Really looks like we'll probably get up to that 137, 138 level this month without any real hesitation in there, it seems like. So probably bounce around here at the beginning of the month and then rally up towards the end of the month. At least that's what it looks like right now. So all in all, longer term looks very strong still, especially for anything against the yen. And that is it for the week. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to stop on by FX Addicts. We do offer a 7-day free trial on the website, and we also have the new book, Forex Secrets, for sale. So feel free to stop by, and you can also look at the book, the introduction, as well as table of contents online there. So feel free to stop on by and take a look. Any questions, get a hold of me by email, Skype, or on the website. Thank you.